The Sacred Toast Podcast.
All right. So, sitting here with Jeff Jenkins.
Yes. We all, dude, I'm excited to be here. Like you having a podcast to me is a dope thing. So I had to come on. And I'm happy that I get to be one of your first guests.
Well, I appreciate that. You're actually the very first guest.
I'll take it.
So, yeah, it's awesome, man. So I have a deep question for you, man.
Talk to me.
How are you feeling?
Really? That is.
How are you feeling?
Oh yeah, bro. Crazy that I have been thinking about it. So I do have this like show coming out. It probably would have come out already by the time this airs, but it's been a 2-year process. And now the world is about to see it in like less than 3 weeks, or in 3 weeks. And so it's just one of those things of like, will people like it? Will people get around the show? Like what will it bring up? Like, will I get a season 2 from this? So it's just like, I'm going through all the motions that I didn't even know were a part of it. I thought it was going to be like the gravy train, but I do feel like this responsibility of making sure that I promote as well. So yeah, man, it's been a whirlwind in that way, and there's a lot of overwhelmingness from it. But I'm like trying to find a way to find peace and like joy in these moments. And one of the cool things that I've been able to do, and even coming today, like I was like, man, I'm gonna be around my friends. Like that has been bringing me a lot more joy than anything else that I've been doing, and letting people know that like man, I still see us, like we're here. Cause I don't know, like think about it, man. It's interesting that there are a lot of people who that have been in my life lately that have been more so standoffish now because of like the fame or the notoriety that I get, that they feel like they're being a bother to me. It's really cool that I can still pursue my friends and let them know that like, hey man, I'm still vibing. I ain't going nowhere kind of thing. And it's all love. So
yeah. Like, so that you haven't changed, letting them know that you haven't.
Yeah. Although I have changed a lot, I would definitely say that entrepreneurship, all this stuff that I've been going through, like I'm definitely a new person in a lot of ways. And I strategically, and I let people know that like, hey, the Jeff you knew before is definitely different, but that same DNA is still there.
Oh,
so
I feel that. Can you, for the people who don't know who you are, what exactly is going on in your life? What is the show?
Yeah, so my name's Jeff Jenkins. I am a award-winning content curator. I've been traveling for since college. I didn't get on my first plane ride until I was 20. But like, man, when I first got to go to Japan for the first time at 20, that's when that travel bug hit me. And now I am doing all this social media stuff, and I am the new host of a adventure travel show called Never Say Never with Jeff Jenkins.
That's awesome. So what is Never Say Never with Jeff Jenkins? What's that about?
It is I've been claiming it, and we're just going to keep saying it. It's the best new show on TV. It's an adventure travel show of me going around the world, doing things outside of my comfort zone. So each episode I have a challenge. And throughout the episode, I do things to prepare me for that challenge. So that's like scaling, like rock faces, like with no, just like for the first time ever. I don't know anybody that's like not scale, but like rock climb a mountain being my size.
Yeah.
Whitewater kayaking, whitewater rafting, swimming with sharks. That's what like I do. And those are like my challenges. That's crazy.
Swimming with sharks?
Yeah, but these sharks, okay. So I just found out one episode, which I wish was going to be on there. I found out one thing that won't be on there is like, I swam with like these Galapagos sharks, and these are like actual apex. They ready to go at you. Like if you make one wrong move, you gone. But the sharks that I got to swim with were whale sharks, and that was a lot. They're gentle giants. But the other one didn't make it in. I was like, man, these get we slow. They're the ones that can bite my leg off.
I think that's the one that people want to see.
Yeah, they do. And I will. But then again, I personally, man, I love nature. I love getting in the water and being able to swim with whale sharks. And we actually did a research project. Like that was like research I was doing. So that was even more incredible.
How did you even get chosen to be on the show?
I don't know which answer you want, but I'll give you a couple of answers. The simple answer is me stepping out and doing things like social media, getting on YouTube, getting on Instagram, and going like building this community called Chubby Diaries. I feel like that's how I got the show. Like, and I'll tell this to anybody that you never know who's looking at you. You just got to keep grinding. You got to keep doing what you're doing. And even with that YouTube series that I was doing at one point, I presented that as a show. Like how I was doing it, it felt like I was like, oh, I'm a host of a show and this is what I'm doing. So, hi everybody, Jeff Jenkins here from Chubby Diaries. Like I gave these TV producers like an image of what I wanted on a full scale. And so I feel like that also helped me out to get in the show, or first to be reached out to and then to actually get the show. Because even when I actually was approached, we went through the whole development process. It was when we went to go shoot the pilots that I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, what do I do? And they were like, hey, you remember that barbecue video you did? Do that. You remember this video you did? Do that. And I was like, oh, snap. Y'all watch my videos? Like that blew my mind, because then it was like also saying to myself like, oh, okay, I know how to do that.
Yeah.
And I was like, if that's all they want, that's easy. And it was easy. So it was just me grinding, putting out content consistently that somebody reached out to me. And from there, like the rest is history.
That's awesome. And I don't know if you can even talk about it or not because the show's not out, but could you tell us what the most difficult challenge you had was?
You know what? I mentioned it earlier. It's climbing that mountain.
Oh, okay.
I can tell you right now, like rock climbing. How many fat people do you know climb mountains? I don't know either. Like, and I'm talking about base climbing, meaning that I'm taking my hand and feet and like gripping it into the rock and going up a rock, like going up a mountain. And that blew my mind. Like, and I was up there. I promise I was like almost midway through, and I was like, bruh, like why did I make this decision to come on this peak? It really did. And so you have to find out if I make it up. But man, that was tough. I was definitely tough.
That's awesome, man. The only mountain I've climbed is the Manitou Incline. You heard of that?
Uh-uh.
It's basically just a straight shot up. Either way,
How far did you make it?
No, I went to the top.
Wow.
But mountain climbing, regardless, I understand. I get it. It's hard.
Oh, yeah.
It's not easy. But I didn't need to use any gear. It was just, you said you're full out in like gear to grip.
Always.
So it must have been even more crazy.
Well, I mean, the gear that I had was just it was just the rock climbing shoes, and I had like a harness system on.
Okay.
So if I did fall, like everybody said, if I failed or not failed, they wanted to make sure I was safe, because they was like, they all get me like, dude, we'll lose our job if you die, like, or something bad. And he was like, we might not work in Hollywood ever again. So they was like, you can say what you want to say. We're going to make sure you're safe, because we also want a season 2.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah, that was definitely the toughest thing I did ever in life, ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of people look up to you. And you inspire a lot of people. What would you tell someone who aspires to do the same things that you do? What would you tell them it's just people who want to travel and experience some of the experiences that you've had? What would be some piece of advice you can give them?
Give yourself permission to like dream, or just, like permission to just think of like future self. Like, what do I want? Like, ask yourself that question. People don't need to give themselves that kind of permission. And I could go into the big woo-woo of like dream big, but I'm not even gonna go there yet. Just to travel, Man, think about what you want. What's the place that you always thought, like, always wanted to visit, never thought you could go to, or even places that you never thought you can go to that now I looked on the internet or I saw an influencer doing it. Like, oh, I want to go there. It literally just takes you committing to it. Giving yourself permission to do it and think about it, and then just commitment. That's all it is. And it's literally like, man, I'm going to go on that trip one day. And to me, what helps me out is I even put times on it. Hey, by this time next year, I'm done. And I think it's that commitment. I always tell people first, like, the biggest commitment is going to buy that plane ticket. I always feel like, man, you buy that plane ticket, boy, it's on.
Yeah, well,
now it's about time.
Yeah.
You know, and so I would say that. But then from the business side, it's more so now you need to dream really big. Like, what is it that you really want in life? Want to got a career? Who are people that you aspire to be like? If it's me or somebody else, like, or you, like, it's one of those things of like, okay, I aspire to be like them. A lot of times people don't even think that far ahead. And you have to like dream really big, say this is what I want. Like I told people before, it's been 5 years of me saying, it was 3 years, but before I actually got to that point, but it was 5 years ago that I told myself, like I wrote it down. Like I dreamt up and I was like, man, you know what? I want a TV show one day. Like I wrote it down every day, every single day. And I read it off every single day. Like, you will have a TV show. You will have a TV show. And so even when they started ringing and calling, like they was like, are you surprised that we called? I was like, nah, because I read it off from here. But I would say also to, what I would say to just getting to the place of doing what I do professionally, there's a lot of consistency that has to be there. There's a lot of sleepless nights that are there. And then I think of it all as a game. It's a big game I'm playing. Yeah. You also have to play the game. I know people who don't play the game and they're always frustrated about like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. You can be yourself. You totally can. But you also have to play the game.
Can you actually expand on that? I want to know what the game is.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. Like, man, there's a lot of kissing hands or kissing hands, Lord. Well, shaking hands and kissing babies in a lot of ways. I feel like to this level, like, man, problematic people don't get too far. I also found out that positivity and gratitude will get you further. And that's the game that you have to play as well. Like, man, the way you walk into a room and the way that you present yourself in a positive light, that gets you in the door with a lot of people too. Those days of like being just like a
diva.
Yeah, diva, a butthole. That's not going to get you far. And so you have to have discipline within yourself, and then you have to exude. You have to choose joy or choose gratitude or gratefulness. And it actually just communicating in some ways too. I think that kind of energy like really makes people look towards you compared to everybody else. Because I really do, like, even for you, like, even when you talk about deep stuff on your social media, like, man, you playing the game right now. We already knew it. We talked about this the first time we almost met, right? It was like, bro, I got to be consistent. I got to come with some dope content. I got to follow the trends. Like, I got to do this. I got to do that. Like, the pay to play. Like, I can't get into this and I don't invest into it. I had to invest in equipment. I had to do this.
Absolutely.
Like, there's no way to get around it. Like, that's all a part of the game. Absolutely. And even for me, like, coming here right now, like, I'm playing the game in the sense of, I love you, you're a great friend. But like, brother, like, there's still a motive here too. There's still, I'm playing the game of like, okay, like, I know you're going to have thousands of podcast listeners and shoot, maybe over 1 million.
Yeah.
Like listeners. And so why not get on this train? You know, like, man, Sacred going to have a dope podcast that everybody going to listen to. And guess what? Guess who they first guest? Jeff Jenkins. And guess who else going to come back for a reoccurring guest? Jeff Jenkins. It's all part of the game. And so, like, I make everything gamified. And I do feel that, like, for what we're doing, it definitely, if you don't look at it as a game, it can really tear you up.
That's actually a really good point. It's so crazy that you even say play the game. I mean, I kind of understood what you said, but I want the listeners to understand. It's so crazy how many people come to me asking, how do I do what you do? But I will tell them, I'll give them all the secret. They don't put in the work.
Bro, what?
That's the biggest thing. They got to put in the work.
Dude, you know what's crazy? Like, the guy who got me into entrepreneurship, the person who like literally, all he did was he watered the seed that was already in me about like entrepreneurship. I was like right there on the teeter-totter, like, should I do this? The day I met him, like me and him have been best friends ever since. And that's been 6 years ago. I remember him just like, the moment I met him, he started like schooling me. He was like telling me like, bro, entrepreneurship, blah, 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 I'm doing this. And then he started telling me how he did it. And I was like, bro, you're just giving me all this information? And to me, I'm over here like, bro, I'm gonna like kill this though. Like, I'm gonna take what you said and like go heed to it and like go to work. And and the reason he said I was like, well, I literally asked him that. And he was like, well, I'll tell you, Jeff, because like 99.something% of people, they're hear all this and won't do nothing. That's why I like, bro, I will share any of my information with people. Because I know for a fact, most of y'all ain't even going to go do it. Or if you start it, you're not going to keep it up. Like this game, bro, like people slacking on the mental health part of it. People slacking on the education part of it. Like people say, I love this one quote that says that motivation and encouragement is like a shower. You need it every day.
Yeah, take it every day.
A lot of people thinking like, bro, they try to do everything on their own will. Like, bro, you can't self-will this stuff. Like, you really have to go seek out people. You have to go meet people. You got to read books. They say some of the greatest CEOs, some of the greatest founders of these companies read 40 to 50 books a year. And I was like, bro, I wasn't even reading books before this. And so I started reading. Anytime that I would get bogged down with like life or like the business stuff, bro, I'll start reading a book. Oh my gosh, everything clears.
Lifts you up.
Lifts me up. It clears up stuff. It has all the secrets in it. Something like if it was like Kevin Hart has a great book. Like to get information from him, bro, I'll probably have to spend thousands of dollars. Like if I was going to do a one-on-one with him, if I wasn't friends with him. But he didn't put it in the book for $20 or it's $14.99. You get that credit every month for Audible.
There you go.
You know? Or you go to the library and get the free audio books, because I audio book everything, y'all. Is what it is. Like it works for me. You feel me?
Works for me too.
So it's just like all of these little things that have to be done and consistently, and that stuff is overwhelming. How do you push past it? Obstacles are going to come consistently in this career, in this path. How do you get over it? How do you overcome them? There are going to be a whole bunch of roadblocks. How do you get around those roadblocks? And I feel like a lot of people don't prepare themselves for that, or they underestimate all that. And they underestimate how long and how hard something takes.
Okay, so you said that there's, so people can get burnt out on this. And I'm going to tell you, we're in a pretty similar position.
For sure.
Except for you have your own show, so you way above it. But I will say this, you know that it takes a lot to get to where we're at. And I know I personally, the way that I'm able to keep going is because I fucking love this shit.
Yeah.
How do you keep yourself from getting burnt out?
I'm trying to learn that now. Because before I wasn't burnt out at all. I was moving. I've even learned that there's phases to being burnt out to where it's like, it's so minimum at first, like just little ticks or little tweaks. And then after a while, it starts turning like full blown stuff. So it's me being able to find time for rest. There's so many new elements happening right now because of the show. Like I was gone all last year almost. We got to hang out at least, which was great, but I needed to do, and technically in my head, although it was fun, it was still work. Like me going to get to school was certified. I was like in my head thinking it was like job training, all the job training, because I needed this so I can go shoot the show. And I wanted to get my advanced school, but that's what was happening when we went to Honduras.
They did me David dirty.
Yeah, they did. God, dog. But it was a fun trip. You know, I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Yeah.
It was a lot of good times. But I've learned that, man, when I get home, like from being whatever country I go to and I'm coming back home or whatever city I'm at, like, bro, I'm trying to spend time with my loved ones. Like, I'm giving them my undivided attention. I give myself rest. I take a day off every single day or every single week. And Mondays are my day off. It's the greatest day to take off. If you can take off a day, take off Mondays. I say take off Mondays is because, you know, how you get those Sunday scaries, is what they call them, where you like thinking about it, like, oh my gosh, I got to go back to work on Monday. Or like people have the Monday blues. I don't have the Monday blues. I get excited about Monday. I'm like, oh my God, it's my day off.
I tried to book you on a Monday and you said no.
Oh, I sure did.
I learned about that.
Sure did. Bro. Come on, bro. I do not do nothing on Mondays. And it's been so beautiful. And having boundaries. I was having a conversation with somebody before I came over here that like, yo, the moment X person has boundaries, the moment I think it will just skyrocket. Because I know people, man, they'll burn themselves out by helping people. Like they're on their path, but somebody needs help, so they deviate from the path and they have to come back to their path. And they keep doing that, bro. That is exhausting.
Absolutely.
You know, man, if you focus, and I'm not saying that you're not going to be able to do stuff for people, and there's time where you have to do stuff. Like, I'm not saying don't do that or don't neglect people, but I am saying, man, like, there's a book I read called We Should All Be Millionaires by Rachel Rodgers. I love that lady, bro. Not only did I love this book, real quick, not only did I love this book so much, I was telling everybody, bro, y'all got to read this book because they talk about broke-ass decisions and $1 million decisions. And a lot of times we realize that these decisions are even talking about we should all be millionaires. Some of this stuff didn't even have nothing to do with monetary value. It was all about your boundaries. Like they talked about being like having boundaries. You making broke-ass decisions. Broke people make the decision of like, oh, yeah, no, if you're going to come into town, it's fine. I'll neglect everything else that I'm supposed to be doing and do that. Nah, you need to set up them boundaries. You're investing into your business, but you're giving all your money away to your peoples. Man, you got to tell mom, dad, sister, brother, like, hey, man, we're at a point to where we can make a lot of money. Like really soon. Like, I'm taking this money and investing it. Like, bro, y'all are on, don't put me on your time. That's what I actually tell that to my family. Like, don't measure your time with my time. Like, don't pressure me to get to something faster. If it's a process, it's a process. And so all I'm saying is like having those boundaries is something that is cool. And what I was going to say after that, like the part that I was so excited about with Rachel Rodgers is that, bro, I was telling everybody about this book and I still recommend everybody read it. Bro, got to hang out with her. This author, bro, like that's how cool this job is. Like that's how cool, like pursuing my passions and really going for them. Like, bro, the people that are considered like your idols in a way, and you start running in the same circle because guess what? Y'all all doing the same stuff. Even if it's in a different field. Like I met millionaires, billionaires, top actors, like A-list celebrities, like all of these different people, musicians. And I promise you, there's this chemistry that happens when we get together. There's this thing about like, bro, I see you. Like, bro, you move in the way I move. Or you even move in the way that I want to move. Let me learn something from you. That throws me off too, because I tell people I want to be the dumbest person in the room. I think I'm smart. I know I'm smart. But if I'm the dumbest person in the room, that means I'm going to learn something.
You're in good company, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm even having some similar experiences. I know as I've grown, I'm getting more and more celebrities following me and DMing me and saying, hey, I love what you said. It's because as you progress, you start to find out the people that make it to that level, they all have very similar mindsets. They all have done the work. They all have the same type of discipline. And they
playing the game too. I'll tell you,
the game.
They playing the game. Like there's a humility about it. And I think before you could or not, you could have pride and be as narcissistic as you wanted to, but them days are over right now. Like people are now, you gotta humble yourself in a lot of ways. Like cancel culture is real.
It is. I was about to say, unless you're an athlete, you can get there, but then you can still get canceled.
Yeah, boy, you canceled quick.
Yeah.
Be out of the league in 2 seconds.
Yeah, hopefully, hey, shout out John Moran. Hopefully you get back.
Bro, 25 games. Whew.
Yeah. It's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. I didn't even realize one game it was like hundreds of millions or hundreds of thousands of dollars per game.
I believe he has like a $200 million contract, so it's actually millions for him.
What else I'm saying about per game?
Per game, yeah.
The times 25. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Ooh, millions of dollars lost.
Yeah, but I'm sure he'll rebound from that.
Mm-hmm.
So you said that you starting to get into different circles. So what kind of celebrities have you been able to meet? And like who?
I'm not a name dropper.
Enjoyed speaking.
I'm not a name dropper.
I want you to drop at least. Okay, who's your favorite person you've met?
Bro, I promise you, bro. I take pride in not seeing people that I meet. It's a pride thing. I'll be like, yeah. I would say, and I would, bro. You can check my receipts. I think if you're around me, you'll find out very quickly that I am hanging out with these people. I'll be at Essence Fest in like a couple of weeks. That's gonna be fun. I'm going to Comic-Con. Okay. And I'm part of Disney, so you know those people that are a part of Marvel and all that. They all gonna be right. Like that's the part that's fun, y'all. Like being. Like, so if I'm like speaking at a panel or something like that, or I get invited by like Disney or Nat Geo to go to an event, a lot of times the talent all are together. Okay. So like everybody from Star Wars is there. Everybody from ABC is there. Everybody from FX. We're all in the same room. All in the same room, just chilling, talking. And it's weird now to see people that I saw at this event, now I'm seeing them at this event and now that event. So I'll say this. I'll give you one. It's not that they're not irrelevant. They're still relevant, but I think it was a legend. And I think I had a moment to myself where I was like, bro, this is like randomly crazy. I sat down and had drinks with Danny DeVito. Oh, like bro, like just random sitting up talking, just like vibing. I'm telling them about like, bro, Batman Returns was my movie back in the day. So man, the fact that like just sitting there and he's like schooling me on advice, like telling me stuff about like the industry, I thought that was just like beautiful. Like, and I do feel like a lot of like celebrities, people even from back in the day, the seasoned celebrities or actors, they've shown me or told me, like they helped me realize like how significant having my own show is. Like one person said, he was like, bro, how long have I been in the industry? He was right, I've been in here for a long time, right? And I was like, yeah. He was like, I still haven't had my own show. That's how I was like, dang. And he's like, bro, like, so people have been like, bro, like, enjoy this. Like, this is very monumental. And I've been around a lot of people of color that have been in the game for so long. So the fact that they seen me doing it, it's even giving them hope. Which is blowing my mind too. Wow. Yeah, man. But I met a lot of, I would say, a lot of the Marvel folks I met. A lot of the ESPN like commentators. Like I met a lot of them. Let me ask you. Okay. No, you said okay. No, he's Fox. Shannon Sharp. No, bro. I want to meet him one day, bro. One day, bro. No, it's all like the college. Like I met like most of the college. Okay. College guys and stuff like that. I got to meet Tim Tebow. I'll shout that one out. Okay, Tim Tebow all day, bro. I sat there, bro. I got 45 minutes with this man. Really, bro? I always told people, bro, if it was two people that I like will fan out over, Oprah and Tebow. I don't know what. Really? Why? Because I'm a Florida Gator. I'm a Florida Gator fanatic. Like I love that kid. Like it was just beautiful. He ain't a kid now, a grown man. And he's only 2 years younger than me. Yeah. Well, combined all of this, dude, it's amazing, you know? Yeah. And he brought 2 championships home to Florida. So for me to like when I met him, I never thought that I would have the opportunity to not only meet him, but then to sit down and just have like really like intimate conversation. And I thought that was perfect. And he literally was schooling me as well. Like, bro, like, how do you deal with fame? How do you deal with success? And these are the questions that I had.
Yeah.
And he explained it. He broke it down to me. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, he seems like he'd be a good person to ask those types of questions. Like he seems, I mean, especially because of his faith, he has a lot, a pretty good head on his shoulders.
He definitely does. And so it was just beautiful. Like, man, I'm really just sitting here just chopping it up with you, bro. And that's the other thing. Like now, celebrities, they were never like that to me, but there was this aura of them like before. And I think the one thing that helps me out so much as like networking wise is I look at people as just people.
Yeah.
And I think the one cool part is like you real like doing the comparison of like what you think they look like on TV and then what they actually look like in real life. That part is kind of fun. Like, ooh, I didn't know you were that tall. Ooh, I didn't know you were that short. Like, it's one of those kind of things that I just love. That's the only comparison I do.
Let's switch course.
Talk to me.
What is one misconception that people have about what you do?
What?
Because you know that
Just about the plus size travel, or
it's just traveling in general. Because people, especially in your field, people see like you swimming with sharks. They see you hiking. They see you smiling, having fun. But I'm sure there's another side to it that people don't really understand.
There's still the crew. Like the crew is the ones running the show. Like in a lot of ways, I just get to be a great leader, and I think that's all I bring. But like that's something I didn't know about, like shooting the show, how hard it was. Way harder than I thought it would be. Like just traveling alone was significant. Like we traveling around the world, so that's something. But I didn't realize how much the crew did for myself personally. And then I would even say about myself, the common misconception that I feel like people can grasp from me is that people not thinking I can do something. And I'm not a person that wants to try to prove somebody wrong. I really don't care in that way. In some ways, I do want to prove myself in some things, or I like it that I'm actually exploratory, to where I don't even have like a like or not a dislike, but hey man, I'd love to see if I can do this. That'd be cool. Let me go check this out. Sorry.
No, you're good. I think I remember you told me that you'll try anything at least once.
Yeah, at least try it. The show was called Never Say Never.
Yeah.
I continue to just push myself to new experiences, because I do know that experiencing life, that's what I live for in a lot of things. It's really cool that the show also is teaching me, hey, too much experience can actually be detrimental. Like I've learned that like it's not natural for a person to, like from the show, I did so much. I had so many experiences from just this season alone. I've had more experiences than most people will have in 10 years, not alone a lifetime. So it's crazy. All jam-packed. 8 months of just nonstop, just go. And you become like that adrenaline junkie thing that people talk about. That's the thing. Like, I understand it. Like that experience junkie, like it's like a drug almost. And like you want to experience everything. And it's like, man, the only remedy that I found to help combat that was to go stare at the tree. Literally.
Really?
Yeah. Like you had to like calm your head, calm your brain, because he'd be like, what's the next thing? Like, what's the next thing? I never thought my brain would do that.
Wow.
Didn't even know it was a thing. Man, I went to therapy and just to make sure I kept my mind in the right place.
It's so crazy you even said that. I have a story about my brother, Philip. One time we were having a road trip, and for some reason he was getting overwhelmed. I don't even remember why.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, we got to stop the car. I'm like, why? He's like, man, just stop the car. He takes off his shoes and walks up to a tree and starts looking. He's like, man, I just need to get grounded. I think there's some truth to that.
It definitely is.
I think there's some truth to it.
Bro, I can look at leaves, the sticks, the bark, like your brain. What they said, you will think more staring at a wall than staring at a TV.
Sometimes that's what people avoid.
Yeah.
Thinking in their own head.
Exactly. And I think me looking at the tree helps me process. Because that's the thing. Like if you're going on experience, you don't have time to process. Now it could be different if like I went through every experience I went through, I had time to sit there and process, but some stuff take time. It might not even be that day that you actually get to process that. So, like I remember, this isn't even from the show, but I went traveling. I went to Pikes Peak in Colorado Springs. Maybe the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. Like to the top, 14-something thousand feet in the sky. You can see everything. I've never seen so much beauty in my life. I've never seen like the earth crevice, like the way or move the way that it did. It was like a beautiful, like massive art piece. It took me days to process that. Days, like literally maybe over a week. I remember when I got down from it, like my brain was so blown, like literally blown in the sense to where it was like I was like staring off, like, what did I just see? Like I've never experienced so much beauty in my life. I've never experienced something like this. So your brain needs time to process stuff. And I do like those. I like finding moments like that. I like finding the beauty in human art, and I like finding the beauty in God's art.
I love that. It's actually good to hear that from you, because, you know, content creators, especially travel content creators, it at least from what I know, sometimes they don't have a chance to actually take it all in because they're too busy creating the content.
Yep.
So it's good
Totally right
to hear that you're actually...
I'll try. It's hard still. I just went to Malta and it was beautiful. But I ended up staying in the room for like 2 days.
Really?
Yeah, I ended up staying in the room for 2 days because I was exhausted. I needed to just sleep. And I started like realizing, all right, how do I get film? How do I get this content? Like I could just jam it all in like one day, because that does help to where you get the rest of the time to just chill, or build in time to just chill. And man, there's nothing like a summer in Europe or a spring in Europe. Oh my gosh. Whew. Just walking around, eating gelato, man, living your best European lives, bro. It's the greatest thing ever.
Love that. What do your parents think about what you do?
Oh, they're proud. They're out of this world proud. My mama though, I'm ready to see my mom's reaction to a lot of stuff. It's interesting because like I know she don't want me to be doing this stuff. She like, even when I was like filming, she like, just don't tell me what's happening. Just don't tell me what's happening. I don't want to know. I'll just see it when I see it. But I don't want to know, because I'll totally try to talk you out of it. Even my manager the other day, he was like, bro, you was mad at so that, or he was like, you wanted me to fix something that was like minute, but you wouldn't want me to try to fix you being on this narrow like bridge that can just snap. He was like, you're more worried about this other thing than that. He just had me dying laughing because I'm doing like all these like crazy adventures and stuff that most people wouldn't even think to do. So I thought that was funny, but my mom and my dad have been able to be a part of that process. And I think that part has been beautiful. My mom just told me the other day, like, people only get to see this part, but they don't even know the behind the scenes stuff. So it's like, you were sending us pictures and I'm on the phone with you and you're like sharing all this stuff. And so it's like, not only do I get to see that, I get to think about all the other stuff that's happened. And it's like, it's motivated my parents to like even do more, you know? My mom has been doing her career for a while now, her business, and it's now time for her to like step into another season of something else. And she tells me all the time, like, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be doing this. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, man. So it's really cool. And like my dad, they, you know what? They be eating up the likes that come when they reshare my stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like when they reshare my stuff, bro, they're most likes every time. Like, so anything that come from me, my mom would be like, hey, you got something for me to share today? I'm like, oh Lord, bro.
My mom did the same thing.
Y'all little junkies, bro. Like, chill. But man, you just know they all proud.
They're proud of you.
Like my mom said, she has a catering business. She says every time she goes somewhere, she's telling somebody about the show. My daddy, same thing. He's like, yeah, man, I was showing somebody a trailer the other day. man, they was over there like, man, you up there doing that? Oh man, he look just like you. So he loves that part too. And he said it's weird and cool all at the same time that like Jeff Jenkins is in the title. Never say never with Jeff Jenkins, and his name is Jeff Jenkins as well.
That's huge.
So it's like to him, like
Legacy.
he's like, bro, I'm hearing my name all the time. Like, and I was like, man, that's crazy. And I love that. Like, I have like these massive goals, and one of my goals is to be able to pay for my parents' retirement. Like, I know for a fact, like my parents, like retirement system in America did not set them up well, you know? And I want them to be able to have like, to not have the option to not work and to be able to just enjoy retirement and stuff like that. And I know a lot of people their age would never have that privilege.
Right.
So they even see that part. So they was like, yes, sir, keep going.
Right. Oh yeah. So I love that. So they're proud of you, man. So we talked about your parents.
Yep.
Now, I know you have a wife. What does your wife have a role in your business?
No, not in the business. She has her own business. She has a diversity, equity, inclusion consulting company.
Okay.
And so she goes out and executive coaching as well. But yeah, so her business exploded a few years back, and like we're both like tag teaming in the sense of like our own spaces. A lot of people always are asking like, oh, she doesn't come with you on these trips. She doesn't come with you. I'm like, no, she doesn't. No, she does want to come. She always wants to come. But in a lot of ways, she had to learn too. Okay, guys, although this looks like fun that I'm having, this is still work.
Yeah.
Like, and her dad was a business guy, and still is a business guy. This man travels all the time. His wife never comes with her. Nor do people think that she should be there. You know, it's like, oh, that he's going to work, he'll be back kind of thing. So it's in the same manner. So the one way that we've learned how to like eliminate any like frustration, because I'm traveling and she's not, she takes her own trips. And that part's been like really cool.
Okay.
She went to Mexico, Costa Rica. She just got back from Waco. She loves tiny houses, so she's wanted to be in a tiny house.
In Waco?
Yeah.
Okay, I know you threw in Waco. I'm like, a trip to Waco.
She wanted to just get away from Austin.
Okay.
So she was like, what's on quick? And I can go to real quick. She got a new, like, one of them EV cars. So she didn't want to, like, travel too far, but she wanted to be in her car as well. And so she didn't trust it. That was her first, like, road trip. So an hour and a half down the road, she can do that.
That's what's up. Yeah, the only thing I know about Waco is that, I don't even know the name of the...
Magnolias?
Is that it? With the crazy dude who... No, I'm talking about the documentary about the...
Oh my God.
I know about Waco. Documentary with the dude.
The Waco, massacre, not a massacre, but the Waco...
It was a massacre though, yeah.
The Waco bombings or something like that?
He was a leader of a cult.
Yeah. And then they started shooting up.
Yeah, so
they went back and forth with the cops. Yeah.
Don't go on vacation, don't, to me, so...
Nah, bro, it's a vibe. It's Waco's growing a lot. It feels a lot like Austin in some ways.
Really?
It's still very country, but it's growing. It's definitely growing. Baylor is that big school out there. Go to Magnolia, Chip and Joanna games. They're out there. They have like, it's the town that Chip and Joanna built. Like they're the people that's on HGTV. They actually have their own network now. Magnolia,
the home show.
Yeah,
okay.
They killing it out there. And they have like their own like adult theme park is what I would call it. Like, or I would say is suburban mom theme park. It is what it is.
Is it that one with the big slung?
No, it's just a whole bunch of shopping. I feel like a hangout kind of spot.
Okay.
Food and dining things. So that's what it is. But it's really cool.
I might have to take a little trip up.
I don't know how we got on Waco. Oh yeah, never mind. I already over that.
Well, I'm gonna wrap this up in a little bit, because I don't want to have you here too long. But I'm curious, so you have a show coming out.
Yep.
What are your plans once the show drops? What are your plans after that?
To keep promoting the show.
Yeah,
bro. I don't see myself stop promoting the show until I'm always promoted, but until like September, probably end of September. I plan to, there's the writer strike happening right now. So me being on some of those daytime talk shows, can't get on those right now because they're not in session, or some of the daytime talk shows are actually going on break because it's the summer. And then like getting on the late night shows like Jimmy Kimmel and stuff like that. The writer strike is happening, so I just have to wait. I think just waiting on some stuff, and I'm gonna promote that. I'm gonna do like a book tour style, like fireside chat, where I'm bringing some of my like friends to like help me facilitate like a screening and a Q&A fire chat in like 6-7 different cities. So we're like planning that out right now. But after that, man, I pray to God I get a season 2. That's the one thing. Season 2 would be great. And if I don't, or not even just if I don't, but more so, in the meantime, I will also do what I always do, which is the social media stuff. I pay partnerships, and that's how I make my money. So continue to make content. That's what I'll be doing. And I have an idea. I already had this idea. So y'all hear it first. Like me and him already been talking about like probably going to Bali or something like that.
Yeah.
Like I want to go continue to like shoot dope content. That's like my plan outside of just doing those partnerships.
I keep telling you, let me know.
Oh, bro, I'm ready for it now.
Remember, I popped to Honduras with
Oh, bro, so quick. So quick.
So here's another question. So you talked about a part 2. So obviously being a bigger guy, it's a lot more difficult to do certain things.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on, like, is there ever gonna be a point where you're
Smaller?
Yeah, when you're trying to get into shape, because obviously whenever
I would say this, FYI, I am in shape now. It don't look like it, but if you see what I do and how I do it, like my brother is almost like a bodybuilder, big dude, cut up, and he got to be on one of the episodes. He actually was technically on 2 episodes, but he literally looked at me and was like, "Bro, how are you gonna do this?" Like the mountain climb. He was with me to do the mountain climb. And he saw that and then saw the videos and pictures that I was sending throughout the season of the show, taping of the show. And he was like, "Bro, you built different. Like you really is. Like you just built different. Like condition wise, I'm the ways. Like the way I can like do stuff, like other people just can't do it the way I do it. It's weird. But I would say that I do want to drop some pounds in the sense, it's just make it easier in some ways. Like having extra weight at times, man, can definitely be a struggle. And I definitely felt it like even shooting the show. And the thing that just was like interesting though, is that although I might be huffing and puffing, like coming up this hill, my whole crew was doing the same thing. You feel me? So it is some of this stuff, like I'm telling you, my safety guy and bodyguard, / bodyguard, he was impressed every day. He was like, "Man, how is this man doing this?" He literally was like, "Hey man, I don't know how you do this." Like he literally was like, "Man, you're just going at it." But yeah, I do think, man, and I feel like there could be a different show. Like, bro, I want more shows. Like that's something I would like. I would like my own IP. I would like to be able to create shows. This is just the first show of many shows possibly. It might not be the same premise, it might not be the same show, but it can be a different show with me at a smaller weight. Who knows, you know? But the main thing that I care for, even in how I'm doing this now, like my whole job is not to promote obesity. The mission and what I'm trying to do right now is redefine what travel looks like. And I'm speaking to people where they're at right now. Yeah. Like not when they get in their best shape of their life, where they get to their goal weight, or if they lost 10, 15, or 50 pounds. It doesn't matter. Like I want to speak to the person where they're at right now, because the person that is right there is a human being. Absolutely. And they're having a human experience. You can agree with how I look or whatever, just talking about anybody in general. Yeah. But you can't deny that whatever I'm feeling right now, or the experience of life that I'm having right now, is a human experience. You can never deny that, because that's what's happening. So I'm speaking to the people, and I want to motivate those people to go travel the world no matter their size. So this is what, so I would say that like this show is more compartmentalized. This is what this show is about. I might be smaller, I might not be smaller. And bro, what Disney, bro, to hear Disney say this, bro, my manager is a legend in the business. I didn't even know how dope he was until he became my manager. People found out, and they was like, bro, your manager did this for me, and he's amazing. Rashawn McDonald, love this man. Y'all should look him up. He's great. He helped in the career of Steve Harvey. That was Steve Harvey's manager, and back in the day, he's Stephen A. Smith's manager right now.
Wow.
And he called me after having like the negotiations with the contract. He said, hey man, he was like, I ain't never heard them do this. He's like, usually when like those, like they get on those calls and stuff like that, they're always like, hey man, probably if the dude would probably even lose about a couple of pounds or gain some weight. He's like, those people say you can stay the way you are. He's like, if you want to gain weight, you can gain weight. If you want to lose weight, you can lose weight. We don't care. Just don't touch your beard or your hair. That's all they say. Don't touch that beard or that hair.
No, I'm straight off for that.
Yep, come on. Yeah. So I thought that was beautiful to even hear that, because it's what I'm trying to show. It's like it's just a different side of the great human experience that we're all having. This man spit. I love him. I don't even think nothing of it. I just think he's a handsome guy outside of that.
I appreciate
But it's just like outside of that, bro, it's just like, man, like I don't see him any other way.
Yeah.
You know? And I take sacred for just being who he is. So
that's good that you said that, because people they forget that there is another human being on that other side. And it's good that you're able to shed light on that fact.
Bro, I met this CEO, and this was like a entrepreneurial like meetup thing I was at, and he was talking to me. We met on the phone. We talked on the phone first and stuff like that as well, and then we went to an event together, and we were all there. And he was like, hey Jeff, I need to talk to you real quick. Set me down, and he started tears started welling up in his eyes, and he started crying. He said, man, before I met you, Jeff, like, man, I would get on a plane. You know, I get on planes all the time back in the day. I was like, yeah, of course you probably have. He was like, man, every time I saw a large person get on a plane, I would think about how uncomfortable they could make me or somebody else on the plane. Mm-hmm. He said, not one time, and that's where those tears started really going. Mm-hmm. He said, not one time did I ever think about that person being uncomfortable themselves. Mm. Like them getting on the plane, before they even got on the plane, having like straight up anxiety because they know that their shoulder might be touching stuff.
Somebody, yeah.
Yeah, you got broad shoulders, so
I always touch people,
bro. So it's a thing. Yeah. So it's one of those things, bro. They not. I don't blame people. I blame the airlines when it comes down to like these seats. You feel me, bro? These seats they feel like they shrinking. You feel me? So it's on that tip. So it's that's the thing that I try to show is like, man, like there is somebody on the other side. Yeah. Like, and shame is not going to get anybody to lose weight. Yeah. I don't even know how I know how we got on that. Yeah. But I just wanted to say that, not about you, but it's like anybody that's listening. Like people are funny now, bro. Like they be like, bro, hit the gym. I was like, bro, let me list off everything I do. I'm doing more than the average person, and I go to the gym. That's the other part. I'm just fast. Now I'm doing better with my eating. Yeah. But man, I still worked out, and still I wouldn't be able to do half of this stuff if I wasn't going to a gym. Or the outside in nature, I'm climbing and hiking and doing all this stuff. Like, dude, to get to some of the destinations, it was 1.5 miles in, and then 1.5 miles back out. Also, we still had to do whatever we had to do there. So it was like, man, bro, they was putting me through it. Going through that ringer. Swimming is hard. Swimming take up a lot of your energy. For that, I had to do a whole bunch of that. Yeah, for that scuba diving certification. I remember you got to swim a certain amount of. Bro, what? It was like 20 meters. Yeah, something like that. Bro, it was crazy.
Without anything, so I understand. Well, regardless, I wouldn't even be a good friend if I didn't say this. And even for like season 2, whichever direction you go.
Yeah.
when you are larger, you definitely, you're going to have to deal with some type of, just health problems.
Which problems though?
So, I mean, you're more likely to have a heart attack. You're more, so at the end of the day.
Well, okay, I'll stop you there because I don't want nobody, this misconception to be like nipped in the bud.
Is it?
So, yeah, it is. So, well, one, I do feel like in some ways, like we do know that larger or just like obesity and stuff like that, people are prone to heart disease and stuff like that. But the number one cause of death in America is heart disease.
Yeah.
So if you larger or not larger, I know a 42-year-old buff dude that just died. Not even like bodybuild buff, just nice fit, slim kind of guy died. My friends right now, one of my best friends, two of them actually, one of them got cholesterol so bad right now that he was like, bro, if you come in this in the next month or so, you was probably gonna have a heart attack. And he just turned 40 the other day. Fit, everybody. So the thing is, even for me, is that I go get checked. I go get my blood work done. My doctor, like when he was reading off my results, almost gave me this like microaggression of like, oh wow. Like he looked at my stuff and was like, bro, you straight. Like literally everything, cholesterol and all, came back positive or all in the normal spectrum. So in some ways, bro, like I do think that like it depends on what habits people have. But man, there's still a lot of people that are doing a lot of stuff and that are healthy, even from a larger size, because it's just the fat that's there.
When you say that, it makes me think. So, like you said, I think you're built different, and the fact that you're way more active than a lot more people your size,
and a lot of people because skinny doesn't equal healthy either.
Yeah,
bro, I feel like everybody should be trying to be healthy, and have longevity.
Absolutely.
I pray that for everybody.
And you already said that, like, you're not trying to, preach saying, be obese, you're trying to say, hey, people are where they're at right now. And I'm trying to say you can do the things that I do where you're at right now.
And guess what I'm doing? I'm being active.
Absolutely.
I'm out in these streets. You feel me? Like I'm hiking, I'm climbing. Like, so I'm hoping that does get somebody to get up and go do this because there's so much wonder and what we do and are to be able to see. And so I want people to have that experience. And a lot of times, and I'll say this, I love that we're talking about this because even with the eating disorders that people may have, right? Or people eat sometimes because of the shame or guilt that they feel. A lot of times they feel that because there's a lack of accessibility to go do some of these things. There's a lack of comfort. A lot of times people feel like if I went out here and tried to do this, I'll be isolated and shamed, or I'll be embarrassed. So for me, like, bro, I'm giving them that image of like, let me show you. It's like me putting myself through the test of like, oh, if you can do this or not. That's what my whole blog was. So I didn't want people to feel isolated or ashamed because of what it did. Because anytime people get shamed, most of the time, it doesn't force them to like go do good or like to do whatever it is that you were shaming them to do. And even those people, I know some people who've lost weight because they were shamed and still mentally had issues. So it didn't even matter because it then became like a thing of like, I'm just proving somebody wrong. It didn't deal with whatever they had going on, or it didn't deal with like the hurt that they were having, and they were just trying to they were in whatever kind of mode to try to fix some stuff. So all I'm trying to say is that like the health of somebody, it is not all about just the size. And that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think having empathy for people is the right move every time. Last question. Where can people find you online, and what do you want to be remembered by?
Ooh, that's a good question. People can find me on social media at Chubby Diaries. You can watch my new show on Nat Geo TV, Disney Plus, Hulu, Never Say Never with Jeff Jenkins. I want people to remember me for the good energy that I brought them, or the fun time that I brought them, and then also the inspiration that I brought them. Like I want to be remembered for that. Like I want people to be like, man, I would not have done this if Jeff didn't like motivate me or speak to me or like brought this like positive and like dope energy to the space. And like I want people to have a good time when they're around me, even if it's for a short time. I want that to be a positive impact, because there's so much negativity going on in the world that like, man, if I can get you join my little bubble for 2 seconds of just positivity and good times, I think that's great.
I love that. I appreciate it, Jeff.
Bro, thank you for having me, bro. I can't believe it, bro. First guest. Hey, man, I told you, this is the best new podcast. You watching it right now. This is it. I know you're going to have way more dope people on.
I appreciate you, Jeff. I appreciate you, Jeff. I don't know if
bro.
You're going to be the hard act to follow. Appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you, bro.
The Sacred Toast Podcast.